Let's go. You lead the way. Where are we headed? Towards a net zero future, of course. Cleaner water, more electricity, a sustainable society. That's the destination we've set ourselves. This we know. Yes, we know exactly where we're going, but we need to get there quicker. So, let's build on the progress we've already made by working and walking together. With the right partners, tools and ideas, we'll become an unstoppable force. This we know. Right now, there are businesses who are putting technology and sustainability at the heart of everything they do. Brave leaders turning maybes into realities and building something better for everyone. Now is the time to look to the future and reinvent ourselves today, empowering others to do the same tomorrow. Yes, we know what the future holds, and we know how to get there. So, let's take charge of the journey today.
Welcome to our school board meeting.
Namaskar.
Hello.
Hi.
Spiffio, access in any language.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's panel discussion. We're going to be talking about Jenga Pamoja initiative that is happening at Still I Rise International School. Just a little bit about the school. We are located in Kenya, Nairobi, and it's the first school in the world to offer international baccalaureate to refugee children free of charge. It's located in the heart of Mathare, the slum, one of the largest slums in Africa. The school works to celebrate differences among its diverse students and tackle the inequalities they face, providing them with 2 meals a day, uniforms, stationery, health insurance. That's how cool that school is, yeah? So around half of the students are refugees from Congo, Burundi, Ethiopia, Uganda, Somalia, South Sudan, and Rwanda. The rest are actually Kenyans, but who come from very vulnerable backgrounds. At times, such a mix has resulted in clashes due to the differences in language, culture, nationalities. So what we do is that during school meals, some of the students actually have refused to eat because of maybe the different foods, the origin of the food where it has come from, because it's what they like or what they're used to. So otherwise, we have brought them together in different perspectives, which we're now calling the Jenga Pamoja Initiative, where we bring different cultures and bring different people to come in unity so that we can be able to appreciate where we're coming from. The schools that the language, sorry, that we speak in the school is English and Swahili mostly. And this way it helps bring the language barrier down where we can be able to have one common ground together. And we have also got to find a way to bring out the values of different cultures and appreciate them. The school works to bring students together regardless of culture. Students are encouraged to speak their native language as well, at least once a week. And on occasion, teachers and students attend school in an outfit of their choosing. You should see them. They look so great in their African culture uniform. It's really superb. Then we also have students who have taken the crafting in traditional artifacts, reciting traditional poetry, singing. We have dancing. We have when they sing the national anthem as well. So it really brings out their culture, and they can still feel they're part of their own culture as well. Now, we want to join this first school, the first school that offers the world the first free international baccalaureate to the refugee children, the free of charge one, and want to learn more about this Jenga initiative and how exactly it runs and exactly what it does. But to do so, I want us to fast watch this video that's going to talk about more about who we are. Please enjoy it.
Hi, my name is Frida. My name is Sylvester.
My name is Judith.
I'm Daniel Ethan.
My name is Ange.
My name is Ben Israel.
My name is Lucky Moses.
My name is Fabio.
My name is Princess America.
My name is Michael Marcus. I'm from Rwanda.
I'm from Kenya. I'm from Democratic Republic of Congo.
I am from Burundi.
I'm originally from South Sudan.
I'm from Uganda.
And I'm a student of
Well, if that is not moving, I do not know what is, you know? Well, for everyone who has just joined us, you're very, very welcome. My name is Grace Wamboy. I'm going to be moderating today's. My name is. Yeah, I'm going to be moderating today's panel discussion. I want to give a big shout out to Kamal from Egypt. Welcome, Kamal. I want to give a shout out to Kaduna from Nigeria. Good to see you, man. I also want to give a shout out to Ankara from Turkey. Is it snowing there? You know, could you tell us if it's snowing? Maybe? No? All right. So as we start, I want to just give a big introduction to also our panelists for today. Our first speaker is Nicolo Govoni. Yay. Say hi, Nicolo. Wave a bit. Awesome. Our second speaker is going to be Lily Kimaku. Lily, say hello. Awesome. And then our third speaker is going to be Salome as well. Salome, say hey. All right, thank you. Oh, thank you, Ankara. Yeah, she tells me there's no snow in Turkey, but it's going to snow soon. Thank you for that. You know, we might visit. So we want to start us off. We're going to start with our first speaker, Nicolo, who's going to bring us some information about the education and what we do. So thank you. Welcome, Nicolo.
Thank you, Grace, very much. And welcome, everybody. I'll try and be short and sweet, which is not exactly my strongest suit, but you've just seen the video, and I think that can explain what we do better than 1,000 words. So I'll try my best to be effective, half as effective as you are, Grace. So that's what we do. Right? We are still at Rise International School, Nairobi, and you know, when we find ourselves talking about the education that we offer here, we often tell people that it is not only education that we do in this school; it is a revolution in the making. And this is because it is not only offering classes and uniforms and meals and shuttle service and medical cover is so much more than that. We are trying to create a system, a model. We're trying to create a school model that is high quality, the highest quality that money can afford, but at the same time also affordable and also replicable, which sounds nearly impossible, but that's what we're trying to do. Every year we're trying to fine-tune the system so that one day, maybe 10 years from now, what we have here can be borrowed or copied or given to other schools around the world, in the global south as well in the global north, and so that we can tackle that crisis that I can only call education in the modern world. I think what we saw in the video was more of a humanitarian angle to the crisis that we are dealing with here with our students. But there is also another emergency, which is the one of education. There are a lot of countries, you know, all around the world where education is not able to serve students the way it's supposed to, prepare them to a world that is, you know, ever changing and rapidly so. So we're trying to create something that can serve not only vulnerable children, but children worldwide. And we decided to start from here because we felt that this could, our service here could be the most impactful, and working here could put us in a position to fine-tune our model so that it could truly welcome everybody and anybody. Here we chose Kenya because Kenya is a welcoming country. Our school alone hosts 8 different nationalities, 8 different communities, and it is just, I think, very hopeful how our kids just stream into the school every morning through the main gate, and they just work together as once, in spite of having different backgrounds and different cultures that they bring with them, and different languages and different religions and different trauma often. As you saw from the video, we have students from Kenya, so locals that live in areas of informal living or slums. But we also have a lot of Congolese kids from Somalia, from Burundi, from Ethiopia, from Uganda, from South Sudan, from Rwanda. And it's just very beautiful to see how they can not only cooperate to create something that is safe and that is home, that is family, but also as they do it without even knowing, creating a school that is truly one of a kind, a school that can not only overcome individual differences, cultural differences. In fact, is a school that can valorize them, that can highlight them and include them in the curriculum and include them in the school journey, to enhance it, to improve it. And that's what we're trying to do here. And of course, it's not a perfect science, but that's what we want to do, right? We want to come again 10 years from now, maybe having solved this equation, so that this school model, the Still I Rise model, can be replicated all over the world, in a way that is affordable, so that it shouldn't be a school that only a few people can afford. Because that's the thing, right? As we speak, as of today, there are 1.2 billion children that are attending school. 260 million children are out of school as of today. It is an immense number, very, very high. We talk about how much as as a human population we're missing out because of these children, because the children are in school. Like the amazing treasures that are hidden in their brains, and they cannot be unlocked because they cannot access an education. The cure to cancer maybe is just in a child's brain, and a child who cannot access education. So a lot of children are now out of school, but and this is something that we discuss often, right? In school and out of school. But that's not the only equation there, because if we want to unlock that cure to cancer, then schooling simply is not enough. It needs to be quality education. It needs to be a school that can unlock that potential and that power. And as of today, the percentage of children that can access education such as IB, International Baccalaureate, that Grace was talking about before, is sadly 0.1% of all the children around the world. That is a very, very limited number. IB, which is, by the way, the most widely recognized diploma in the world, is also the least accessible. And that's concerning, right? That as Nelson Mandela said, I think you can hear the animals. It's we're in nature, right? In the middle of life. Apologies. I would tell them to stop, but I'm not sure I can communicate. So right, as Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. But the thing is, if not everybody, or only a minority, a very small minority, has access to that weapon, how can we change the world? How can we expect the world to be thank you, Daniel. I can see the comments. I'm not sure if you're referring to the IB or the chickens, but I think both are quite a thing. So yeah, well, if only a minority can access that kind of education, are we really changing the world, or have we created a system that maintains the status quo, where the world is designed to stay exactly as it is? Because that it goes both ways, right? So that's what we're trying to create, a school that is replicable and affordable, so that others, not only Still I Rise, can create something like that, where refugees can find a home and can find a path to regain everything that they lost due to this unfair world, and more. What we say is that what we're trying to do here today is not only offering meals and classes and uniforms. We are shaping the leaders of tomorrow. We want the next president to be a person who has been through everything that life has to sadly offer in terms of struggles and poverty and deprivation, and so that the next president, the next Supreme Court judge, a person that can impact a lot of lives is going to be able to understand what it means to come from a place like Madare, to come from a place that is lost forever, or lost for a long time because of conflict and because of poverty and because of widespread violence. And that's what we are trying to build here, right? A school that can create hope, that can actively reopen the doors to the future that we're trying to create. That's why we're very proud and privileged and lucky in a way, I believe, to be the first ones to have the ability to offer the IB framework completely free of charge to refugee and vulnerable children. And I want to underline the first ones and not the only ones, because I hope that this will create a way for others to do the same. So that number, that 0.1% of children worldwide who have access to the education of the elite, that kind of education that only very, very wealthy people can afford, can increase. That number should increase so that more and more people can access that powerful weapon that Nelson Mandela was talking about. Because that's the thing, right? That's I think that's the baseline. We can only change the world if all of us are on board in that change, if all of us are empowered to do so, and not only 0.1% of us. The world can only stay the same, if not become less equal, if only a very few can access the best. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a school, and not only a school, but a system, a model that can be replicable and that is affordable and that is very, very high quality. We're bringing the education of the elite to the most vulnerable, to the children that the world has somehow decided to forget, right? That they are disposable, that deserve the crumbs of what we get at best. So yes, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a system so that our kids not only will have the chance to become the next leaders, but will have a chance to look around and see less of what they are sadly forced to live through. Less of that struggle, because this needs to become the standard. Education, quality education, cannot only be accessible to the 0.1% of the world. It's just crazy if we think that. So Still Waters International School is an experiment, is a pilot project that has that aims to serve the children of today, but one day change the world through a model that can inspire or contaminate whatever education we have worldwide. So improve traditional schooling and contribute to solving that emergency in education, contributing to the creation of a school that can be accessible to all students and that can serve all intelligences, right? We're all different, and sadly we have designed a school that is only meant for a very specific kind of people, so that a school that can serve everybody, and not a school that can do that because you can pay for it, but a school that allows you to access quality education, that powerful weapon that will enable you to change the world just because you're a human, just because you're a child. Because that's the thing, right? Education cannot be considered truly a human right if it's not equally accessible to everyone. So if we create a school that can be equal, truly, horizontally equal, for who is wealthy and who's poor and who's a refugee and fleeing from war and who's privileged enough to have grown up in their country and then have chosen to go elsewhere, like me, then only then we can create a world that is truly able to heal itself and change itself. So yes, that's what we're trying to do at Still I Rise. We're trying to create a school that can welcome everybody and empower everyone to be the change that this world so badly needs. Thank you.
Well, when you think about it, as if I can echo just a few points, yes, the future is the children are the future. And I believe many of us were told that when we were kids, we are the future, we're the future. But when you come to Still Arise, you realize definitely the children are the future. And what this school does, what the IB does, is not just educate a child, but mold a child for the future in such that they'll be ready to face it. They'll be ready to face the world, not only just because they have the knowledge for it, but because they're ready for it, because they've been trained, they've been molded in a way that they can face it. Now, somebody has asked a very valid question, because such an education system, yes, can actually cost a lot. So how do we get our funds? Our funds are actually gotten from people who donate. Actually, we do donation runs where people can easily go to the website and hand in donations, send in donations from there. You can also visit the school and also get things for the school that you might want. Maybe if you want to decide to buy some books, you want to help out with uniform or something, you're very welcome to do so. For those who are interested in that, please visit our website, www.stillarisengo.org, so you can be able to get more information about how the funding process works. And just a big shout out to our new members who have just joined us. We have people from Norway. We have somebody else who has come also from Palestine. Wow, that's awesome. We have Mike. Mike, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. And other people have joined us. You're very, very welcome. Yeah, we are talking about what we do at Still Arise. We have something which we call the Jenga Pamoja initiative that we're running. We usually run it every year, and it's something to bring out the culture of every child, every staff member, and bring us together with our different values, our different backgrounds to just become one whole family, awesome unit. So next up, you have our second speaker, who's going to tell us more about the curriculum and just deeper insight about what we do and how the culture comes out in the curriculum. So welcome, Lily. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Grace, and thank you everyone that's watching us. We appreciate it, and I will definitely just dive into the curriculum that we're doing. So how have we designed our teaching and learning approach to accommodate our students' culture in the curriculum? As Nicolo had mentioned earlier, we teach the IB curriculum, which stands for International Baccalaureate. And this means that our students get world-class education for free, which is very amazing. And what this means is we embrace the diversity in our learning environment by adopting like different professional development goals where our educators in the school get 21st century skills. This allows them to expose the students from different ethnic backgrounds to various skills. We call them IB learner profiles. For example, we have collaboration skills. We have homerooms currently, which are a very huge. I'm a very huge favorite fan of this because there's explorers, there's sentinels, there's analysts, and then there's diplomats. So this means that we are literally exposing the kids to an environment where they know what a diplomat is, what being an analyst is. As an explorer, for example, what does this mean? And these are kids that are actually very young and they're being exposed to this, and this curriculum enables them to do this, which is very amazing. Another thing that we do is, for example, in our school, we have on the doors various languages. So when the kids want to say hello to each other, for example, kids from Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, Somalia, South Sudan, they want to learn how to say hello in South Sudan. We have this on our school doors, which is also another way of them greeting their peers in their native language. And it also brings about our school culture where people can embrace diversity. We use experiential learning. Our students are exposed to a higher order of learning which also reflects in the community. I'm going to give an example of one of the students that we have that literally the parent, we had a meeting with their parents, and the parent really said we need to continue teaching them the IB learner profiles, because the child keeps insisting on that being used in the household. Meaning, if we're teaching the kids to be communicators, to be inquirers, to be risk takers, to be thinkers, these are things that are going to impact the community in Mathare, which is going to be coming from a child, not from an adult. So the next generation is going to be full of skill sets that probably in my generation we didn't have, but this next generation in Mathare will be having. During Jenga Pamoja Week, for example, they translate poems from their native languages to English, and they donate them to the neighboring schools as a service, as action to the neighboring schools. So this also empowers the other schools who are not doing IB necessarily to use what we have, what we can offer, to use it to better their schools also. So there's the use of inquiry-based learning. It nurtures the students. Students have the opportunity to use, for example, during Jenga Pamoja, we had the parents bring in artifacts from their country. We had traditional dances, attires, and posters that the students made. And they created this on their own. Again, going back to the IB learner profile, thinkers. So if they're able to create things on their own without necessarily being guided, it's basically a kid in Still I Rise thinking, hey, I want to create, for example, as a thinker who's into science, wanting to create something, and probably I'm going to use another student as an example who wants to be an astronaut. That's something that probably an African kid thinking about being an astronaut, but in this school they get that opportunity because they get the IB learner profile again insists on you being a thinker. So if you have an idea to create a rocket, you actually get to do that in our curriculum, and we actually get to help you achieve this goal. And the one thing that I would like to talk about in terms of the IB curriculum is the ability to push a child from a comfort zone to a point where they become their excellent self in future, meaning they're able to develop skills that are created for the 21st century. We have a thing in the school we call Pan-Africanism, which we incorporate into our curriculum, which I feel is very important considering we are in Africa and these skills are not per se very much pushed. But now the ability of a child to come up with an idea without depending on the teacher, with them thinking, and I kid you not, it's surprising the moment you just drop the pin to the kid and it's like a bomb, it blows up and they have brilliant ideas and they share this in class. And that's the one thing I like about the IB curriculum. It enables the child to push limits. It enables them to develop into adulthood. It's not them being coached to become a certain kind of person in future. It's them learning literally how this happens. And this is enabled again with the IB learner profiles. So guys, I think the one thing that I would like to finish off with is the ability for people to for example, for Nicolo to come up with this idea for the school and it happening in the slums of Mathare to the most underprivileged kids. I feel like this is an awesome initiative, and it is going to make the next Kenyan generation in Mathare to be more greater.
All right, thank you so much for that, Lily. We have understood more about the curriculum and exactly how it runs and how the lessons run in between and how the sessions run, which is really awesome. Right now, I'll actually call the third speaker first before something else. We'll have the third speaker, Salomo, who's going to tell us more about the Jenga Pamoja initiative and how this culture specifically, how it is interpreted in the school and how it actually runs. Welcome, Salome.
Okay, thank you so much, Grace. My name is Salome Katheu, a mathematics teacher in Still I Rise International School, Nairobi. So I'm going to talk about how we did engage the community in Jenga Pamoja initiative. So first and foremost, we had the parents and the students actively being involved in making ethnic-related attires and artifacts which were necessary for the Jenga Pamoja. And these artifacts and the attires would later be brought to school for exhibition and learning. Secondly, we have our the parents and other invited guests. They freely ask questions and share their ideas concerning the initiative. This is during the last day of exhibition, which marks the culmination of Jenga Pamoja. During such, we have our students and parent representatives being given an opportunity to do a presentation regarding each and every culture of the 9 nationalities that we are talking about in Still I Rise. Then we also have local visitations by local professionals to learn about culture, how we handle cultural differences in our school, and the positive impacts diversity has through performative arts, which is a subject we offer in Still I Rise International School, and also how the impacts of diversity through talks, through films and displays. Then Lily talked about our learners, our doors are being frosted with local languages from the communities that are involved in our school. Yes, where did we get the greetings? Our parents were so much involved with providing our students with these greetings. And they were given an opportunity to greet each other in their local languages, which was so interesting. And you find that in return, our students now are able to acknowledge, to understand and appreciate other people's languages and even cultures. Then lest I forget, in Still I Rise, we do enjoy meals that are prepared by our amazing parents. Once a week, we have enjoyed fufu and sombe from Congo. We have enjoyed anjera from Ethiopia, kisra from Sudan. And I can testify on this. These foods are amazing. We didn't know that. The kids didn't know that. And this one has brought about open-mindedness in our students. They do appreciate foods and cultures from other nationalities. Grace, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I was just having a memory of what we ate last week. And I'm like, yeah, the culture of food is just amazing. It really is. It really opens your palates to really get into the feel of the culture itself as you eat their food, you know? So just before we get into the audience's questions, because we do have a number of those, I would like to just maybe point out just a few of things that we're actually looking at. One, as we have heard about the education and culture, is that as we bring out people from different places that come from different countries rather, and the different backgrounds that they come with, and when they come to the school, we try to make sure that they have that feeling of home and family in the school, so that they don't have to base themselves on what has been happening at home or all the maybe the issues that may have come with. So we bring them to a place where they feel they're not lower than anybody else, they're not higher than anybody else, but at that same level with each other. That's why when people wear uniform, yeah, many schools who don't wear uniform, they think you're bringing out your individuality, but here we're bringing out equality among the students, which is very, very important. We also have, when we talk about the curriculum, that we actually go through the education sector in the curriculum as we teach them the different units that we do, the different subjects that we do. We have something called global teaching, whereby we apply everything that's actually taught in class about what's happening in the actual real world. Myself, I can attest, well, now I'm an adult. Yes, I have to do my taxes, but when I was young, I had no idea what taxes were. So this is a place where we can teach them how to use real life situations, like what's happening in the world. We teach them from class, and they understand everyone's culture and things that are going on in the world, so they can be ready for it as they go out there. That's why we implicate it in the curriculum as well. We also have moments where we engage them in the community services, like we have cleanup day, where we get them to do different activities, where we get them to clean up the neighborhood that they're in, take care of what's going on out there, which is very, very important. Because yes, we're teaching them responsibility in school, but we want them to be also responsible out there. So once they leave and become, the future of the world, they know how to take care of the world, after we're way gone, because this world can die without us taking care of it. We know about global warming that's happening, so we teach them how to take care of it. We also have the fact that with all these different perspectives, children get to also accept other people, other people and their differences and their culture, and they get to appreciate who they are, because they can really, mesh with them and be able to grow with them as well, which is very important. And we also have one of the major things I really enjoy about this place is that point of building a person, their character, not, as I said earlier, we don't just do education for them, but also building their character and personality, whereby if, let me be honest, if any of these children become a president in future, I'll definitely give them my vote, because knowing their background and what they've gone through and how much they have, being taught and all that, then they're definitely ready to be leaders of the world. So right now, due to time, I will just go into the questions. And among the first questions, I would like Nicolo to answer them about, well, I've already brushed up about how we get in our funds, which people can get in from our site. But maybe you can talk about how we have partnered with other stakeholders in the community to be able to provide students with this space, this opportunity, and this education. And yeah, if we can tackle those, that would be that'd be good. Thanks, Nicolo.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Grace. It's I think one of the founding principles of IB, but also of Still I Rise, of course, to have strong local ties, to be locally rooted, right? So we are trying our best to not be a bubble, because that's the risk sometimes, right? International school in a slum, it can become, like its own like tiny corner that has nothing to do with the surroundings, and that's not what we want to be. So I can cite a few examples. I can promise you, when everybody else was speaking, the birds and the chickens were very quiet. So I feel like this is like it's a personal thing. So something that we do is we partnered with the majority of the NGOs, local NGOs, and as well as international, but and local is what we want to focus on right now, that surround us, not only in Madari itself, but around the city, right? Our students do not only come from Madari, but they come from all over. Our 5 school buses and vans, they go out in the morning and they pick up kids from all over the city. So we have partners in every area of informal living around Nairobi, right? And there are other NGOs, or even like smaller groups that, a group of volunteers that can support us with so many different things, and we can support them, as Lily was very well saying before, contribute to strengthening their educational programs, or sharing our knowledge with them, giving trainings, inviting them for events, and so that's what we did. I want to cite a few examples that are close to my heart. Lily, who's here, our amazing Lily, art and drama teacher, a few weeks ago took the kids out in the community to perform in the street, right? And well, I remember I'll be short, I promise. But she asked me if I could go with them and accompany them as they were performing, and I remember that I had a few meetings, so I was like, can I go, or am I too busy? And then I was like, yeah, let's go. And I'm really happy that I went with them, because I was mind blown by what I saw. The kids were awesome, and they performed this display in front of the community. They gathered a crowd, and they got sodas offered. They got some money from their audience. And it was brave, and I think it was just brilliant how a place that is rough and has quite a bad reputation like Madari can just be an integral part to our learning and to our experience. It is just very heartwarming to feel that we are connecting and not just secluding ourselves. So this is one thing that shows how important it is for us to make sure that our kids are working together with their communities. Something that was mentioned before, but again, I was there, and I felt it was really touching. So our Wildlife and Conservation Club cultivated some veggies over the past few months, and then they harvested the veggies and they decided to take them to a local children's home. And so they went there, our kids went there, and they spent some time with the children living in this home, and they gave them the vegetables, and just spend some hours chatting with them, playing with them, which I think is super crucial, because our kids are vulnerable, and that doesn't mean that they're helpless, right? That they're passive. They also have the privilege to receive like a high quality education, and being in a school like that. And I think teaching them that they are also active in giving back, and that they also can be the change that they want to build, not sometime in the future when they will graduate, and then and have whatever job they'll get, but right now. I think that was so important, that they could see themselves as an active part to their community. So many different ways that and then well, the cleanup that we organized for a cleanup day, World Cleanup Day, where all our children went in the streets and cleaned everything up, cleaned the whole the streets from our school up to the main road. And I think people look at you weird, because they're like, what's going on? Because it's a bit unique, right? Especially in our area. But I think it's very important that we can be involved, and show our kids and others that we are all part of something bigger, and that no matter our background, we can all have a part in what we do. We do not believe in handing anything out. I think our leaders are those who should spearhead the change that we want to create, and the kids are also leaders in their very own way. So that's one way. And then of course, when we have a new intake of students every year that join our school, and that have to be selected in terms of their vulnerability for the program, then it's a network of local NGOs that support us in that, and that guide us in this. We are not alone, and none of this could be done alone. Grace, I would like to build on what you said before. It's something that is very close to our heart in terms of funding. Still I Rise is, as you very well said, Grace, an organization that is entirely funded by spontaneous donations, right? So private individuals, whether individuals in terms of just people, or companies, or some foundations, but mostly it's just people like us, who donate whatever they can out of their salary every month. And that is because when we opened Still I Rise, when we started, we made a conscious decision to actively reject funding from governments, and from multinational companies that we deem unethical, and from international organizations or institutions or entities such as the European Union and the UN. This is because we truly believe in independence. We were talking about how, sadly, the education system is also dysfunctional in how it preserves a status quo, and has some kind of service that is meant for the elite, and another service that is meant for everybody else. And we feel like with this funding, although a bit more tough to raise, we are sorry.
Yeah, Nicole, that's awesome. And one thing I know about you is you can talk forever. So I'm sorry, but I have to cut you short right now.
No, it's good.
But it's all good. What you're saying is awesome. But I think what we can say is, because of time, for everyone who has a question, we'll definitely get back to you, because on the social media pages, that is YouTube and Facebook, we'll get back to you. But for anyone who wants to reach out to us, please feel free to get into our website, www.stillariseno.org. We can be able to answer your questions. And if you want to talk to Nicolo specifically, who can talk forever, please feel free to do so as well. Yeah. But we're really happy to have this opportunity. I want to give a big thank you to Nicolo for your talk on education. Lily, big ups for your talk on the curriculum. Big ups, Salome, also on your talk on Jenga Pamoja. And for everyone who's out there, thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us at this time. Feel free to come and visit our school where we are, and just talk to us, share with us, tell us what you want, like how we can help each other out, how you can help us, how we can help you. If you want to do this thing as well in your schools or in your country, please feel free to do so. So thank you. And for now, bye.